Hello and welcome back to the final day of the TUM.ai GPT-3 Makeathon. My name is Omar.
And I'm Nora.
And we're super excited to have you here. We're super sorry about the delay. We're just a bit fashionably late. Nora's fashionably late. I've been wearing the same stuff for like a couple of days now. But c'est la vie. But now we're here. We're ready to get going. And we're super excited to see the pitches.
Unfortunately, only 8 teams could make it to the finals. But we've heard that all the pitches have been great. And so thank you to everybody who participated. I'm sorry that you didn't make it to the finals. But now we're very excited to see the finalists here.
The creme de la creme.
Creme de la creme.
Exactly. Anyway, so today what we have in plan is basically a lot of announcements. We're going to announce the winner of the side challenge, the side quest Easter challenge, the meme challenge. Excited about this one, the pub quiz, and then we're going to see the 8 finalists. We're going to see who the winner is. But before we get to all of that, we've been talking a lot about like AI, about business. We've talked about GPT-3. We talked about ethics in AI. We talked about AI for good. But I just feel we didn't talk enough about TUM.ai, a student initiative.
And a lot of you have been asking about it, so
now is the time for it. We have Nick Remscheid here in the house, and he's going to tell us all about it. Nico,
also, there will be a Slack channel that is called TUM.ai. If you have any questions to this talk, just ask it there. We won't ask any of these questions live, but they'll be answered in the Slack channel, so just go there if you have any.
Good to know. Nico?
Can I just start right away, or?
Yeah, sure. If you want to share your screen, so just go ahead, and otherwise the stage is yours.
Yes, great. Sounds good.
Thanks a lot. 1 second.
Take your time.
If I understood correctly, this is going to be a quick 5-minute talk.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
Perfect.
I know we're behind schedule a bit. Welcome everyone from my side as well. I'm Nico. I'm one of the co-founders and one of the co-presidents of TUM.ai, and I won't be talking long, just a quick introduction to what TUM.ai is, the past, the present, and the future. All right, so let's start with some numbers. We had 375 applicants and 45 teams over 4 tracks, and of course, there's only one winner. And I know most of you will be wanting to see who the winner is. But actually for TUM.ai, the most important part are the 375 applicants. Why? Because they came from across all domains. And that's also why that's the biggest number here, because that is the why for us, for TUM.ai. Why do we actually do this? Because we want to reunite all of the different people from all domains to come together and work on AI. And that's also the reason why there is TUM.ai. So there are a couple of standard reasons. Of course, AI is the new electricity. It's undoubtedly one of the most important technologies in the future. But it's mainly driven by research for now. So we see much of research progress here, but not so much of actual real use cases. There's a lack of access for many, and of practice, of real world practice. And apart from that, we want to build on an established concept. At university, there are a lot of different successful student initiatives. And so we consider ourselves also a student initiative, and specifically a platform, basically, where we can source from companies, from students, from all domains, and bring them together to have the machine learning expert, the informatics guy, the domain experts, law, medicine, and so on, the business expert, and bring them all together to essentially bring AI ideas, AI research concepts from academia to actual real use cases that have an impact on society. And that's the goal of TUM.ai. And what specifically, how can we describe those goals in more detail? We have 3 different ones here. The first one is we want to lower the entry barrier to AI. So whether you're thinking, well, AI is this big abstract concept, I have no idea, whether you think, wow, I want to really get into NLP because I'm a CV computer vision professional. For all of those different types, we want to lower the entry barrier to AI and give you all the resources and the network to learn that. The other part is we want to make AI much more collaborative. so that there's just not the model expert thinking about what societal benefits they will be or what consequence they could have, but they're also just the expert in those fields with us directly discussing on the topic directly. So we want to make AI collaborative. And the third point is we really want to bring AI to a mainstream adoption across all domains. That is not only the standard ones you see, but essentially AI can be beneficial in all domains. That's our belief. And that's what we want to make sure in the future. And now, to put that into words, mission and vision of TUM.ai, we want to bridge the gap between theory and practice in our artificial intelligence for everybody, essentially. We want to create, and we want to do that by creating a global network of opportunities for AI interested students in Munich. That can be LMU, TU, Hochschule München, everybody is in. Although the name doesn't really tell us. Okay, now the specific opportunities, we have academia. So that's the first big part, as I said. Education, we don't do courses yet ourselves because there are large resources out there, really good ones, but we just help people to get what they need specifically to get into the field. So one example is just workshops where we want to learn, connect, be inspired. Next thing are projects. And projects can be internal. If you have an idea, come to us. You know, we connect you with the right people, build a team, and you start off. We have a couple of very successful, actually, ones also participating here. Or if you're a company, want to try the project, prototyping, ideation, we do that as well. We connect the students to the companies there. And the last thing, for students, we have an operation part where if you want to take some responsibility, if you see areas that are not covered by AI, you just want to see AI in those fields, or just want to take some responsibility, you're also very free to join the management team and help us organize something. For example, this GPT-3 Makeathon. All right, so I don't want to make it very long. What can you do now? Everybody that's listening here, no matter if you're an aspiring TUM.ai member or just an interested partner, we have two specific QR codes here and also the links. So those are specifically for everybody you're attending here. So if you're interested in becoming a member or doing a project, no matter what background, no matter what domain, the more diverse, the better. Just scan the QR code and leave your contact details, and we will get back to you, and you'll be the first person knowing about what's happening in TUM.ai in the future. Other than that, there is obviously the standard social media available, LinkedIn, Instagram, me personally, or just general contact via email. We're most active on LinkedIn, so just feel free to just follow us there and you'll receive all the updates there in any case. And with that, everything is said. Hopefully you enjoyed that. I've been 30 minutes ago, I've been in the marketing track. Projects look very awesome. Thanks very much for everybody for the work you put into that already at this place. And thanks to all the partners, mainly Applied AI, OpenAI, and the TUM Venture Labs. We greatly appreciate what you've done for us. And I'm very excited to see what the final pitches look like. Back to you, Omar.
Thank you, Nico. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it was an amazing presentation by Nico. We've been talking all the time about the 3 paradigms of TUM.ai. Now we've got a presentation for it. You guys know what you have to do. There's 2 QR codes. Go and scan them. That's the way we do it.
And be very excited to have more people on our team next year to organize events like this. Be
and
really
we are, like as said, maybe one day you're going to be sitting here instead of me.
Very exciting.
Exactly.
So don't hesitate and apply.
Exactly.
Be great. Loads of different projects.
So, Nico, thank you very much, and let's get going.
Yeah, without further ado, let's start. So let's get into the concept for our finals this day.
Exactly.
As you might have seen, we have this concept of investment where we kind of have our TUM.ai coins, which are virtual, and is kind of a little bit the concept of Shark Tank. I don't know if some of you know this. So we have our investors and they're going to listen to your pitch, and afterwards they're going to decide how much they would invest into an idea like yours. Each jury member has 1 million TUM.ai coins available. So after each pitch, they have to decide how much of these TUM.ai coins they would like to invest into your idea. This will be presented right after your pitch. At the end of all 8 pitches, we'll have 6 million available for the jury that they can discuss together where they want to invest it into. So after those 8 pitches, nothing is decided yet. Of course, we'll see which team has an advantage already and which one doesn't. But at the end, it'll still be very exciting, and we shall see where the rest of the money goes.
Yeah, it may sound a bit complicated, to say the least, but it's just the way we wanted to do it.
And that's what real life will be as well.
Yeah,
You'll have to pitch to people and they have to decide whether they want to invest or not. And
it was also about like making it fair for everybody to kind of have like a really clear criteria what like based upon which we actually like give feedback to the teams. And I think that's why. So anyways, without any further ado, let's present the jury.
Yeah.
So first up, we've got Alexander Schmidt, and he's from Cherry Ventures.
And then we have Ekran Namazi. He's the data and AI lead of Microsoft and the co-founder of Jidexa.
Exactly. Then Philip Gerbert is again in the house, the general director of the TUM Venture Labs and from Applied AI by Unternehmertum.
Then we have Dr. Sebastian Lehrig, who's AI systems architect at IBM.
And finally, we've got Antoine from the TUM Venture Lab Software AI, the managing director.
Very excited to have you all here.
Exactly. Guys, I hope everything is good with you. I hope your day was a bit relaxed. It's Sunday actually today.
Yeah, should be relaxing day. So thank you again for making time for us here today. So that's really nice.
Exactly.
But maybe let's get started soon with our first team, as we're already a bit late anyways. And the first team that's up is Team Easy Read from the healthcare track.
Yeah, healthcare has been very popular today, like in this Makeathon. It's kind of understandable why. I think with Corona, it kind of really showed how much potential there is in the field of healthcare. So it's kind of exciting first to kind of choose this track, but it was also very like exciting to see that a lot of people actually chose that track. We had like a couple of challenges there from Clinic and Recht der ISA. So I'm pretty psyched to see what the guys have in place, how we can actually bring a natural language processing model in the whole play, but we'll see how it goes.
The participants from Easy Read, are you here? Can you hear us?
Already.
Nice.
Very good. Are you planning to share your screen?
Absolutely, we are. Whenever you're ready,
okay, perfect.
just let us know.
The stage is yours.
Joey?
You're the boss.
Yes,
if you want to share the screen, go ahead and take it home.
So,
Good luck.
here we go. Can you see your screen?
Yeah.
Yes, we can.
Splendid. All right. Then thanks very much for the introduction and for all the great organizational work. That was really a pleasure being part of this Makeathon. I have the pleasure to introduce to you Easy Read, our submission to the TUM.ai OpenAI GPT-3 challenge. My name is Tobias Hauser. Next to me, my colleague Max Christa, that is also part of the team, and I will now guide you through our application. I'd like to start with pointing out that through my own experience as a medical doctor in hospitals, I know that the German healthcare system is famous for 2 things. It is famous for being able to take very good care of patients, and it is famous for a tremendous amount of bureaucracy. And we want to tackle that. So we would like to use GPT-3 and advanced machine learning to enable doctors to spend more time in what they do best, in spending time with patients, not with paperwork. Today, to give you context, even though hospitals face a tremendous and ever-rising shortage of medical personnel, doctors spend about 30% of their time on creating all different sorts of reports and documentation. This is all carried out manually, and you have heard right, manually. And how is this even possible? So a medical report in general is basically the primary set of documentation that collects all data and is comprised of all information that is gathered through a hospital stay, and that starts with patient identification and goes over health status on admission, all diagnostics, all therapy, and how the doctors in the clinic would propose to proceed. This is then put together in a letter-like format, and as you can imagine, over a 4-week hospital stay, there's quite a lot of data going into these reports, so that building one medical report can take up to 120 minutes per singular report. Now, if you take, keep in mind that one doctor might want to produce 5 or 6 of them a day, that already makes an entire working day and amounts, as said, to 30% of the overall time of doctors in hospitals. And to put it in numbers, this will amount to an astonishing 6 billion euros in doctor pay per annum in Germany alone. What can EasyRead do about it? So EasyRead is our advanced AI program that will automate medical report creation and will cut efforts by 50%, creating a savings potential of up to 3 billion euros in the German market. What is EasyRead able to do? It is able to do this by producing medical reports on demand without human interaction, by fetching data from all different sources inside the clinical information systems, may it be lab reports, may it be patient records, or other documentation carried out during a hospital stay. It is able to standardize these different styles of input into one standard file, and is also able to screen examination lab reports for important or unusual data. What our app cannot do, and we would like to point that out very clearly, is replace a physician's judgment. EasyRead does not have any means of medical reasoning. It is merely a tool to create reports that can then be seen and visited by medical doctors. Do we face any competition today? Honestly, we do not. Our big competition and our challenge is to go into a field that is very adverse to change and innovation, and have medical doctors, hospitals understand that by using advanced AI, advanced technologies, they are able to deliver much better work, having a better and more time for patient, and delivering more quality care. As today, the leading edge technology for creating medical reports is speech-to-text dictation tools or even typewriting offices. But enough of what I told you so far. This is a presentation of what we planned. And if you see or take a look at the upper left side, this is our web applications with all the information that is going to be automatically gathered from the clinical information system, and can then, after adding through the medical doctor, be compiled into one new crisp medical report. This is going to happen on a PDF format and can then be downloaded into any sort of template or letterhead provided by the clinics, and will contain all the important information in a final report, in a manner where that is similar to, or basically exactly the same, compared to today's procedures. Where do we stand today? We have our MVP ready. We're still working on some pre-language processing and automated data cleaning to make our results even better. And what we're up to doing is we want to start into our beta phase, approaching a hospital partner for getting more exposure to our algorithms in the second or third quarter 2021. And it is our aim to go live first quarter 2022. Meet the team. These are some of the finest gentlemen I have the pleasure of working with so far. They have vast experiences across information technology, academics, healthcare, and business. And we think it's about time. Let's digitize healthcare processes together. Thank you very much for your time.
Perfectly on time. Amazing. Thank you so much, EasyRead. Without further ado, let's jump into the Q&A. That's 3 minutes long with all the jury members. Feel free to ask your questions now.
Absolutely. Just one heads up, I'm not able to see you as long as I have the screen share open. So if you want to keep that open, just excuse me for not being able to see who's posing questions.
I think
you can turn off your screen share, that's no problem.
Okay, then just give me a second. Hold on. Great. So let's go.
So Sebastian here. I guess I asking now the obvious, what you would expect from me. So do you have any ethical things to say about your approach? So ethical concerns in using your approach, and I also want to hear an answer to ethical concerns not using your approach?
It's a very good question. I think the obvious point that we have to say to meet your question is that we are not trying to create medical reasoning, right? So we're just trying to ease the workload on a medical doctor, that he can, instead of creating a report, just getting a report created and then check this report for flaws and just for important bits of information. I think it is my experience that some bits of information are, as in every major industry, still prone to human error. So it's the case in medical industries as well, and in healthcare. And I think that eTheRead might be able to tackle that solution on the get-go, as an algorithm is much more likely to with certain filters to identify unusual data that might otherwise be missed. So I think that regarding that, there's a good potential. And as we would try to have all the data just staying on hospital servers, we think that we can handle the data security, even though this is going to be one of the major challenges in the beta phase.
Okay, thank you. I guess Philip is next. You raised your hand.
Thank you. Look, thanks for the great presentation. Now, let me just try to understand what you have. That was actually quite hard to see. So did you already train it? But did you have some reports that you can show how it was summarized, or just where do you stand?
Yeah, I'd like to share my screen once again for that question, if that's all right.
Yep.
And so again.
Yes.
Okay, sweet. So basically, what we have here is basically a layout of our GPT-3 usage. It is in German, as we are planning on working with the German healthcare industry. So please do not be confused by German input data on the left-hand side. What we're doing is we're collecting patient information. Can you see my cursor, by the way?
Yep.
Great.
Yes.
So we're collecting patient information and compile this into basic information using GPT-3 knowledge. What we're doing in the second step, or what we were able to create on this weekend, is that we used parts of medical reports that is already pretty much standardized, like lab result that is going to be given in a table format, or physical examination information that is physician structured into regarding heart, regarding lung, regarding abdomen, regarding extremities. And we screened all this information with GPT-3 and just used the language capabilities of the AI to understand whether we're looking at a normal report, whether this part has not been done, or whether there's something unusual there that might be worth reporting. And this is working pretty well so far. And then this is going into a second. So we have all these, and we put them back into GPT-3, and this will then generate an answer, basically an output that will only contain all the unusual information, and also stating that all the
Unfortunately, your time is already up. I'm really sorry. We're kind of.
No worries.
But thank you so much for answering these questions. It's been very interesting, and I'm sure it's given the jury a bit more insights into how much money to invest into your idea.
Yeah, exactly. And if you guys if the people from the jury want to ask you further questions, or if you feel like you have to complete the answers, you can find all yourselves in the Slack channel, in the Slack workspace, I'm sorry. And from there, you can take it home.
But without further ado, jury, do you already know how much money you want to invest? Let's start with Alexander Schmidt. How many TUM.ai coins do you want to invest into this idea?
Yeah, it's obviously a hard call now to make, given this is the first pitch, which I was very impressed with. So great work having conducted that over the last days. I think the biggest challenge I do see here with this technology is the adoption within the clinics. Not only the doctors who are very reluctant to adopt technology in the first place. I think that's changing, but also the second part, which is that clinics as a buyer are one of the hardest buyers that exist out there. Consequently, I do see a bit of challenges in building this as a venture scale business, while it's still a very good idea. And therefore, I'd only invest 50 100K of my 1 million coins here.
Thank you so
Very
much. Antoine Lebois, how much money do you want to, how much?
Antoine.
Sorry about that.
Look, whatever happens, being the first in a team of 45 is a particular challenge. So I want to, already hats off for having been the first. This is articulate, this is good. I don't have a sense for how ready doctors can be to adopt new technology, but I think that this is a problem which will take place probably everywhere. And the most important is to be able to make sure that you can ask yourself how you can validate these things and get feedback. I'm probably going to go probably to something like 20K, but I would be tempted just to add something like, maybe 2 or 3 more, just because you guys are the first one, and I don't want to be arriving later and saying, oh, I should.
But in the end, you still have 6 million to invest, so don't worry.
Yeah, we don't know. All I know is that it's articulate, it's great. You have a team, which is very important, with not only technical people, but also people from the industry. And I think this is, everyone knows that startups are made not by individuals, but by teams.
So in the end, you want to invest 20K. Is that correct?
22.
22K, okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Next, Dr.
Sebastian. The first guy to speak.
The extra bonus. Love it.
For that, absolutely.
Thank you. Okay, Dr. Sebastian Lehrig, how much do you want to invest?
Okay, I have been working in the healthcare domain on my own, also on AI, and I'm with Alexander. It's a really tough domain if you talk about who's willing to use these technologies inside that domain. The doctors are often not willing to go for this technology, and standardizing the stuff and getting it approved, especially in Germany, is super tough. Even though I believe it's valuable technology, and I think it's even ethically relevant to go for this technology because you can actually save life with it, I'm hesitating to invest a lot here because it's such a tough domain. So I'm gonna only spend 10,000 for that one.
Okay.
Fair point. Resistance is hard in the field of healthcare, so understandable.
Definitely. Dr. Philip Gebert, what's your take on this? How much money do you want to invest?
Look, I mean, yes, first of all, I think you did a great presentation. Also, thank you for that. I think the topic is totally clear. The issue is horrendous. I have lots of relatives in the hospital, and it's a total nightmare. I think I'm less skeptical than my colleagues on adoption. I think doctors are ready for adoption. I think you made a good choice to say, look, I start with not entering into the medical stuff. I think the medical stuff, I believe, will follow, frankly. I mean, I would have actually loved to see you a bit more ambitious to say, look, I mean, this is the entry point. But obviously, there's an obvious thing, the medical stuff as well. I think we were interrupted, obviously, in the middle of your answer when saying, how do you actually bring things together, and what have you shown in GPT-3? It won't be a trivial thing, but I would go with 75K and willing to adjust based on, you are the first, so we are a little bit careful on the first. You have to see when we have seen all of them, we will also adjust and assess, so to say, the comparative path. Thank you very much again.
Interesting change of pace, a bit more positive, going all in. Dr. Philip Gebert, thank you very much.
I like it. The last one up is Ekrem Namazi. Why do you want to invest and how much?
I think Tobias and team, you hit the nail in terms of, healthcare. I mean, patient-oriented is key. Medical practitioners have less time, a lot of manual work. I mean, the business case is clear. The cost saving is tremendous, and also the impact for the patient itself, for the whole healthcare system is great. For this, only for this idea, I really tribute this. I didn't get the point how this menu, because the time-consuming part is this manual treatment of the patients, right? So every individual, every patient, every disease, every therapy is kind of individual. That's why it's quite hard for the doctors to kind of standardize certain things. This was the missing part, which I was looking for to understand how you're going to tackle this personalization of all the things. But the idea is great, has a huge potential. If you can, kind of fine tune a little bit, this is going to be really great. Hence, overall, I'm going to invest 50K for this.
Yeah, once again, a bit of a positive approach to the whole thing. Well, we're off to a good start, aren't we? Eh?
Yes, definitely. We also have this little overview, which we're going to show in a second, where we can see how much budget each jury member has left and how much has been invested into the team so far, which thus far has been EasyRead. So EasyRead has a total of 207,000 TUM.ai icons. Not too bad.
Yeah,
like
good start. I'm excited to see if it goes up or down now after people get a bit more insight.
But like they said as well, they'll adjust in the end for teams coming first or coming last. So don't worry about that either. Next up, we have a team from the legal tech track. The team is Formalix. Do we already have a Formalix team member in the call?
Yeah, hi.
Hey.
Hello. Nice to hear you. Before you get started, do you want to turn on your camera and share your screen? And just a quick reminder that just like the team before, we'll cut you off pretty much exactly after 6 minutes, and same for the question round afterwards.
We're normally very kind people, but here we're going to be a bit tough.
We have the rules to be strict in this one. Sorry about that. But if you're ready, go ahead.
Okay, great. So I will dive right into it. Good evening, everyone. I had the pleasure to work together with Abdullah and Philip on this topic. My name is Luis, and we built a tool that will kickstart your research paper. So we will first start with a quick overview. I will introduce the typical customer, then we go over the problem. We show you how we solve the problem, and then we do a little market sizing and some unit economics. The typical customer is Thomas. Thomas is 27 and he's doing his PhD in information systems. And when you do your PhD, you have to publish a high amount of academic papers, and you have to regularly meet deadlines. And in order to get published, you have to meet the rigid standards of the reviewing process. But unfortunately, Thomas has difficulties to start with his papers, and he would prefer to spend the time researching instead of writing the papers, because he thinks writing the papers is the least exciting part of being a researcher. And Formalix will help Thomas to get his papers kickstarted. So he will get to his first draft faster. And how exactly will now be explained by Abdullah.
Okay, thank you, Louis. So I'm going to start with a demo. So essentially, we approach this. Our solution is based on a note-taking approach. So as you can see, for Thomas, he was writing about autonomous vehicles, and he already wrote down a few notes and references related to them. And yeah, so they look great, and he's organized them here. One thing that we might also want to add is like a conclusion. So, for example, he'd come here at a note entitled conclusion. So come here. One cool thing about the editor that we have, so you can edit normally like any other editor, but a cool feature is that if you input 3 - signs, you can start typing in keywords, normal keywords here. So not necessarily any sentences or any long structures. And by closing it up with another 3 - signs, the cool thing is you'd get suggestions for how a proper sentence might look like here. Again, I have 3 choices here. If I like this one, I click on it, and it's there. I don't want to add a reference here. It's my thoughts, so save it. And now Thomas already has his ideas. He can arrange them, but for now it's okay. So he'd like to start working on his draft. He'd like to have his draft. So one cool feature is you can click here and it would like compile all the notes into a proper paper, or like a first draft at least. And that way he's not starting from a blank paper with some notes jotted around that he needs to throw around, but with something like this, in which he has the references that he worked on and like a rough first draft that he can start tweaking and editing to his liking. For me, that's okay. Over to you, Lois.
Thanks. And we think many people can use the solution. Currently, or we are assuming from the numbers we found online that there are about 2.27 million researchers who are intensely working on drafting papers, working on papers. So really heavy users. That's why we think we can also serve around this kind of market, because also the paper market, like all the papers are written in English. So assuming that we can only serve 10% of the market, this results in 230,000 monthly users, which, over to the next slide, we would charge on a recurring monthly basis. We estimated our costs based on Grammarly. This would result in cost per users of €5 per month, estimating a gross profit margin of nearly 80%, which is great. And only if we can serve 10% of the servable market, we would achieve an MRR of €5.75 million. Yeah. So what are the next steps from our perspective? We want to work closer together with researchers to really adapt Formalics to the working stream of people who write many papers. So we can also think about integrating a more methodological approach where we introduce methods like Zettelkasten. We also want to improve the reference management so it has no shortcomings, for example, to tools like Citavi. And of course, we want to increase and improve the user experience and the design. I think we are on a very good way.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you very much, Team Formalics. Also great on time.
Yeah, perfect. You were also like a couple of seconds earlier. We encourage that since we're a bit of a time crunch right now. Anyways, without further ado, let's get to the Q&A.
And again, only 3 minutes. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, maybe let me start. I mean, this is Akram. I mean, great presentation, great idea. Thank you for that. So do you have an idea how much time saving you can generate with this? I mean, do you have an intelligence? I mean, how regular paper and research is ticking, and assuming I'm using now your tool, time efficiency plus the quality of work. Any impact on that?
So we not exactly did a time calculation, but we think the big advantage here is that this is a boring task, because when you write many papers in your PhD, what happens is you have lots of paragraphs that are about the same, because you introduce the overall topic, and here we can really help you getting started. And we also think it's very sticky once it's integrated in your workflow, because you get used to it, to the kind of ease Formalics will give you.
Okay.
One question, guys. First presentation, it's not easy to start, and this is great. Are you targeting professional lawyers or researchers? Because once researchers pass their PhD, they become professional lawyers.
So we are looking to get into the B2C market, but of course we would also address big institutions or companies to get a company license, because we think all kind of academic style writing can be improved. by tools like Grammarly, and we want to follow along in this market.
But if I'm PhD students and I graduate, then when I'm in the legal profession, will I write as many papers?
I think this depends on your working style,
Okay.
and cannot be generalized. Or what do you mean?
I'm trying. Well, the question was actually to try to identify better who is your persona. It's good to have a persona, but I'm not sure exactly if I get a sense for the guy. And once the guy is no longer, say, a student or PhD student, is there a real need? Because you are going to have to be faced with cost of acquisition of quite a number of people to reach 5 millions.
Mm-hmm.
And so if once they are past 3 years, you have to go and try to look for more PhD students, the cost of acquisition could be pretty high.
And
Well, sorry for the interruption. We told you we're normally kind people, normally very nice, but this time we're going to have to be a bit tough.
Strict rules today.
Yeah, it's a time crunch, guys. The time crunch is real. Anyways, we'll get now to the investments from the jury. I'm going to have to kindly ask the jury to just state the number. As
Keep it
said, we're
short.
in a bit of a time crunch, and the room for discussion is always open in the Slack workspace. I can definitely see you there. So let's get started with Ekram. Well, how much would you like to invest?
I'm going to invest 70K here. Because
Okay.
I really see these total addressable market quite huge, and I really saw the GPT-3 use case here, which is quite impressive.
Perfect. So we've got 70K from Ekram. Alexander, how much do you want to invest in this idea?
For me, it's 20K.
20K from Alexander. Dr. Philip?
I would like to invest 50K. Perhaps one sentence just. I think I liked everything about your presentation. I think what Antoine already suggested, you're falling possibly in a trap of thinking about your own life. We see that a lot with business plans. I think it could help you a lot to think about who would profit most from such summaries, because I believe there are larger markets, but I find it great and find also great that you already managed, to have a real prototype. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Philip. Dr. Sebastian Lehrig, you're up next.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I think I got your idea, but actually I don't believe in your idea, coming also from an academic context. I think the pain point is not in actually writing the paper, but in finding good research ideas, following up these ideas. So I'm not going to invest here.
Perfectly. Well, it's sad, but c'est la vie. And then Antoine?
Well, you have a working prototype. You're going to try to spend time to push the prototype and show it to people, so you should get 10,000.
Okay, perfect. Thanks all the jury for all the investments.
And thank you very much for keeping it short.
Yeah, perfect. So we've got the overview now of how much Team Formalix have received. 150,000 tokens. Not as much as EasyRead, but still a very good start.
And anything can change.
Yeah, perfect.
Next up, we have Team Myriad from the marketing track. Do we have a participant, a team member already in the call? If so, please unmute yourself now so we can hear you.
Guys, are you there?
Hello? Team Myriad? Nobody there? Do we?
So, well, we've got a
But
bit
Team Myriad is actually the one that's been very high up on the Easter egg challenge. Excited to see whether they actually won, because there's been two names. That's how I know this name.
Like I didn't actually follow up with that one, but I did hear it was a close call.
It was a close call.
So it would be actually a shame if they're a no-show. They're like in the finals. They are like up for a good prize if they win the side quest. So that would be a bit disappointing, to be honest. But I'm pretty sure that they could arrive. Otherwise,
oh, Team Lava is next, actually. Sorry about that. Is there anybody from Team Lava in the call? Yes, sorry about that, Maximilian.
so it was our bad. That was live. Everybody saw that. Let's move on.
Okay, are you ready to share your screen and start your presentation? That's good. Then feel free to share your screen and get started. We can see it. Perfect. Go ahead.
Evening. I am really happy to present you and delighted after these 48 painstaking hours to present you Story Lava, the intelligent social media manager. We have in the past days and weeks taken a closer look at our challenge setter, BR24. BR24 is one of the public service or the public service media agency of Bavaria, giving out information and news on on a multi-channel basis and being a digital pioneer in its field, having a lot of digital services and social media and being super active. Now we have had discussions with BR, and their key problem was consisting of 3 problems. It was the transfer of information into Instagrammable content, taking time, resources, and labor. But then on the other hand, they were also open for different solutions and wanted to be surprised. So we figured the core thing that they're interested in is curiosity, and above curiosity, it is efficiency. Therefore, we have created Story Lava. Story Lava is a system which is taking a news article and transferring it in a blink of a second into an Instagrammable post that you can post into your Instagram story. It can be an article from the old times. It can be breaking news, efficient and fast. Further on, we have implemented a system which is making a flexible style management possible, which means we have 3 different API prompts running at the same time, hand in hand, which are creating the same text with different styles for different audiences. With this, we have highly used the possibilities of GPT, but more to that later. And we have also made it efficient with trying to use the query system in many of its cases. But now Denise is going to show you the prototype from our team. Denise, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Actually, I think I have to activate my camera so you can see me. And now we can start with the demo. So for the sake of publishing an Instagram article, we first of all need an article. And I will just select this one here about Armin Laschet. We can copy the link, paste it into our application. And with just the click of one button, we have the text and also the image. Let's quickly reposition the image, and now we can start generating our Instagram story. I will just click one button, and in the background, we will have multiple prompts that are now that are actually leveraging the power of GPT-3 to understand context, which allows us to put the article into different words and present these different versions from which we can now select or from. And I think I will use this one to publish on Instagram. And now back to you, Max.
Thank you so much, Denise. Isn't it amazing? We have taken a closer look at different competitors and different benchmark partners of BR and looked at best practice solutions for how the story should look. And the best practice solution was to give a short headline and then information under it. And we have implemented this into our system with different iterations through different prompts. But now arises the question. Now, it's no wonder to anybody, I think, that Instagram and Instagram stories especially are gaining more and more attention in the public, but also from the side of news agencies. It gains more attention because news agencies can push over information and news in a quick and easy to read format to the audience. And the news finds the audience technically in their natural environment. There is a giant market for that. And we have estimated that 10% usually of the subscribers or the followers of an Instagram channel watch the stories, which comes from Bettendorf et al. 2020. And these findings suggest that only with the top 10 competitors from the German or the American market, we can serve roughly 6 million people with these Instagram stories. Our system is therefore designed to first serve the needs of BR24 in the first round. Then after that, once we have achieved everything with BR24, we would go into a first phase of expansion into different German news outlets and Instagram accounts. In the second phase, we would expand into the English language. And in phase 3, we would let ourselves be surprised. Maybe it's going to be different languages. Maybe it's going to be a company internal content. We will see how our B2B solution could gain more attention. One thing is for sure, which our research suggests, which is that there is no current active competitor in the market, which gives us a giant pioneer's advantage. So the question is, who are we actually? And we are a team which created this software, a team of 5, all youngsters from Munich, either finishing or just finished university, ranging in diverse segments from management into software engineering. And we could, throughout these days, effectively leverage that we come from different backgrounds and build on each other's ideas. And the last question actually is why we need this system right now. We let GPT answer this question. GPT told me yesterday, I was not invented 5 years ago. I was invented today. And in 5 years, I'm likely going to be much more intelligent. We want to be with GPT when it gets there, and we want to use it as soon as possible. And the time is now, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for your attention. See you on Instagram.
Thank you so much, Team Lava.
Yeah, exciting product. So let's see the questions from the jury.
Thank you for the great pitch. Very impressive. Also a lot of fun. Have you actually figured out how you want to bring the product to market? Is that either over like larger news outlets like BR24, or is that also smaller news agencies that you're tackling first? Who do you think like is an early adopter of this?
Yes, we made thoughts about that. Denise, can you actually switch one slide more, please, to our...
Sure.
We have set up a lean canvas for this purpose. And as channels, we figured actually 2 things. On the one hand, we figured that we are going to go with a high likelihood from news agencies to news agencies, since it's a B2B software. Maybe the information around gets this around, and we can approach also other news agencies. But then on the other hand, something that we took into regard is that this is a super scalable thing, and therefore smaller outlets can also leverage it, and it can be tailored and adjusted to their needs.
Cool. Philip here. Can I ask a question?
Yes, go ahead.
My question was, I think you had a great answer to the BR challenge. Question is, how do you actually want to make money? I mean, BR24 is in the unusual situation, it doesn't have to make money, but that wouldn't be true for all the other customers you're envisioning.
Yes, so our research also found that Instagram stories have in Instagram journalism the highest click rate or click-through rate in general social media journalism. That means that the articles shared in stories get many leads to the actual news website and then to ad revenue. So therefore, there is actually a financial incentive also for the newspapers. And currently, newspapers are investing a lot of money into building up entire newsrooms just for the creation of Instagram and social media content. This might be a little far-fetched from their core business and expensive. And we can bundle these activities into one system. And maybe if we advance it even more, it can generate Instagram posts, Facebook posts, so you name it.
One more question from my end, Max and team. Great presentation, great idea. First, how you, detect or control fake news would be my first questions. And the selection of the news needs to be still manually. Am I right?
Yes, the selection of the news is manual, and that was consisting of multiple reasons. We could not find a way to implement the Instagram API. But then on the other hand, we also wanted to back check it by a human, because what if something goes wrong with the text? A human should see it before it gets posted. That's important for the news outlet. And then the first question was...
fake news detection.
Exactly. So in this system, we are only using news of BR24, but then in later iterations, it is super possible to make a list of trusted news sources and then backcheck publishing it. But anyways, the
Sorry for the
human,
interruption
we do
again.
not want to exclude it.
It definitely breaks my heart to be the guy who has to do this one dirty job, but it's my job. Thanks for the questions. We realize this is a really serious time crunch. That's why we have a Slack channel, final_pitches, for where the
All the
room for discussion
participants can ask
is
questions
open.
if you want.
So without any further ado, let's get to the investments. And first up, I'd like to ask Alexander for his investment amount.
Yeah, I think media consumption and especially video is rising, so I'll be investing 250.
Oh, wow. Let's do it. Dr. Philip Gerbert, how about you?
Well, I'm still not totally convinced. I think it's you did a great presentation. You did. I think the challenge is a great challenge. You might have followed just the big fight with Instagram in Australia that media actually did make money so far on things published on Instagram. So I think you depend a little bit on the regulator. So I like the idea very much, but still a little bit hesitant. So I'll invest.
Hey, thank you very much. Ekram, what about you? Ekram? I guess there's a couple. Oh, yes.
Sorry, I was on mute.
Yeah,
typical. I love the idea. I love Instagram. I'm a true believer that we need to, inform the users on Instagram. And I'm investing 120K.
Great, thank you very much. Antoine?
I'm moving to 40K. I'm just wondering whether this is a service or a product, but there's definitely a huge market. So it's a good usage, and I think this is why I will probably do that. And thank you for the presentation.
And last but not least, Dr. Sebastian Lehret, take it home.
So I think it's good business in the social networks, and you can make a lot of money out of it. So I'm in with 200K.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much for the jury. Once again, if you want to continue discussions, there's now a dedicated Slack channel for that. And who do we have up next now?
First, we have a quick overview of who's winning at the moment. At the moment, Team Lava is very far ahead,
well, that's
but that can change. You never know. Next up, we have the team that I mistakenly announced wrongly in the previous round. That's Team Myriad. Are you here now from the marketing track? Hello, Antoine. Oh, is it Antoine? No, hello.
Yeah,
yes.
We can hear you.
Perfect.
Are you planning to share your screen? Yeah,
yes, go ahead. We can see it. So if you're ready, feel free to start.
Okay, I'll just start. Hello, everyone. We're Team Myriad, and we provide AI solutions to automate and enrich your chatbot data. So I'll give you some context of our problem. In the retail industry, customers need to receive support, and that's hard to do at a large scale. And usually it has to be done by having humans manually responding to the customers. That's the human in the loop factor. And that's why chatbots came into use in the first place. So they would deal with the scaling issue. But another problem that the chatbots brought along was the fact that they need quality, they need data with quality and diverseness. So that's where we come in. We provide the diversity and the quality data that you need to be able to fulfill the requests of your customers in a better way. And we do that by using the untapped data sources that a company has. For example, if you have user manuals, we will parse them, and through the use of GPT-3, we can automatically generate data for your chatbot, which, if everything works right, will lead to better fulfillment for your better response fulfillment for your customers, and will diminish the requirement of having humans in the loop, therefore saving you money. How do we do that? Let's, for example, imagine that the company is providing us their user manuals in a JSON format. We can extract intents and tags from the JSON from the manual, and then feed those intents to a powerful language model like GPT-3 from OpenAI, and generate questions, generate pairs of queries and answers conditioned on the text, which is of course also related to the intent. After we have our data for the chatbot training, we provide it to our customers through a web interface where they can assess for the quality of the data and also exclude any possible outliers. After that, they can just download it and just train their use the data to train their chatbots with. So the benefits would be that through the usage of our Myriad data, our generated chatbot data, plus your chatbot, you will be saving time and money by reducing the human in the loop factor and overall increase the user experience by fulfilling more requests and faster. So just comments on the market of chatbots. Currently, the chatbot market is valued at 17 billion US dollars, and it's projected to hit around 102 billion US dollars in 2026. And if you compare the high demand for chatbots and the fact that they do need this diverse, high quality data, and the fact there is, at least from the information that we receive from our challenger, that there is no robust solutions in our market sector, being that market sector, the automatic chatbot data generation, you can really see the void that we're trying to fill. So our business model, initially we would take a analysis of data format fee. So basically this means that we would personalize our parsing of your untapped data sources to you. And from there on, we would require a maintenance fee to keep our services open, and so that you can continue to use them. And further down the line, based on feedback from your customer, we would train other models to increase the quality and the diversity of our data. I will now present a demo. This demo will contain a web interface that you can also visit by clicking this link or just typing it on your URL bar. And this interface contains question-answer pairs with also intents that were automatically generated from a dishwashing machine user manual. And you should be able to see the interface right now. So I'll just go through some examples. For example, this one right here, I've highlighted some of the examples that I want to point out. And I'll just say a disclaimer that all of this data wasn't cherry-picked. The only data that was cherry-picked are the examples that I'm going to point out. So on the intent of rhizophyletic chalk, if someone asks, can I put my children in the dishwasher? The model, also the question and answer are generated. And the answer says, no, you should never put your children in the dishwasher. I'll try to see if I can find other examples that I picked from Connect. And this is, for example, in a scenario where the client would be a little bit unsatisfied with the product. And if you would ask, sorry for my bad language, but if you would ask, what the fuck is this? The answer could be, this is a text about how to use the Home Connect app. Again, in the intent, Home Connect. Just one or more, and I'll finish this. Okay, in the intent, arrange tableware. What should be done with containers that have openings? Containers with openings should be positioned so that the opening is facing downwards. And how can I avoid breaking the dishes or my dishes? To avoid breaking dishes, position items with curves or recesses at an angle so the water can run off. So in our generation, we try to both contain uses of vulgar language and more normal language, maybe academic style, more clean, more polished. But after you select what some random outliers you want to exclude through our interface, you can just click export, and you'll be prompted to download the data with an intent ID, intent name, query, and response ready to be used. So this is our demo, and this is our team. It's composed of Philip, Christian, Etienne, myself, and Robin. And this is it. This is our presentation. Thank you. And if you have any questions, please go ahead and ask them.
Thank you so much to Myriad. And yeah, without further ado, let's jump into the questions. Jury, feel free to ask.
Okay, Sebastian here. So in my opinion, the chatbot market is one of the oldest we have in AI, so to say. So there are plenty of solutions with chatbots. So now you're claiming that it's not so robust. So what makes your approach more robust, and how do you plan to compete against the competition with your approach?
Well, I guess our approach, the best thing about it is that we can just get the training data that we need in a how can I say the word? The word is like in a cheap way. We can, through the use of language models that have just learned a corpus of text that is so immense, they have a lot of variety. We can extract the power of those models to just generate, for example, with vulgar language. Maybe that's more challenging if you're using template-based approaches with more classic natural understanding tasks. So I guess our advantage is the fact that we can automatically generate this and in a high volume, especially at a high volume. So then you can just, for example, further down the line, even train separate machine learning models that would be labeled through the exclusions of outliers, so we could detect those outliers automatically. So you would just have high volume of data, and you could just detect the outliers automatically, and well, just keep bettering the product as you use it, and as you use it more and more, you should be getting better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Well, let's go with the next question here. All the time.
Yeah, if I may, a question from my end. Thanks for the presentation. Great idea again. How you screen the market of existing solutions? Because I'm aware of a few, like Q&A makers, chatbots, and all these kind of things. So can you comment on that?
Okay, now that you guys are asking these questions, we didn't explore the market as much, but our challenger told us that there were no such things as what they were asking of us, these automatic data generation for chatbots. And well, I do not have a full scope of the market of data generation, but yeah, so I don't think I can answer your question properly, but maybe we should do some research on that end.
Yeah, strongly recommend on that.
Okay. I don't think I can hear you.
Your mic's off.
Sorry, the classic issue. Sorry about that. Can you ask technical questions? Because the questions you presented seems very broad. We didn't know if this was for a dishwasher, a PC, a telephone, that you were asking all of these questions. Well, you know, it was dishwasher, but can you go into more specific details at this time?
My apologies, Antoine. We're gonna have to
so sorry.
The line has to be drawn here. It's a time crunch, but again, once again, there's
the chat.
Yeah, the room for open discussion is now in the Slack channel, final_participants. Without any further ado, let's get to the investment, the exciting part. Dr. Sebastian Lehrig, what do you think?
So, I mean, chatbots do work. That has been proven, but the market is tough, and I'm sure there are more in the competition, and the competition is tough. So I don't buy it. I don't invest here.
That's a tough call, but life's tough. Dr. Philip Gerbert, you're up next.
Thank you very much. Look, I think it's a great application. I have no doubt you're much better than, or you can easily be much better than what's on the market. I think it's much harder to differentiate, you know, what do you have beyond GPT-3, so to say, right? To go, how do you differentiate again, or GPT-4, you know, which is coming? I just saw projections, you know, of what's coming up. So I think, you know, it will be a tough call, but I'm willing to invest, you know, 75K and on your running fast.
You can still do a lot with 75K. Akram, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, given the tough competition and existing solutions I'm aware of, I pretty much like the idea, the integration and data generation. This could be a differentiating factor. Hence, I'm going to invest 20K.
Okay, also not to be underestimated. Antoine, what do you think?
Same thing. I know a number of competitors, but this is a very active market. It's not going to be one winner takes all, so 20,000.
Okay, good. Alexander Schmidt, take it home.
Also at 20K.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much.
Very easy.
Yeah, now we're going to go to a short break.
First, quick overview.
Exactly.
Before we go into the break. Right now, Team Lava is winning, but there's still potential. for all the teams to win.
Still up to grabs. The jury still has a lot of tokens.
And see you in 5 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. Welcome back after the break. Now we've got the last 4 teams from the 8 finalists. Also excited to see what they have up to grab. So who's up next?
Next, we have Mediport from the healthcare track. Are you here?
Yes, we are here. Can you hear us?
Yes, we can. If you're ready to share your screen, do so and we can get started.
And these guys are quick.
Very prepared. I love it.
Now, does it work?
Perfect. Go ahead.
Okay, great. So yeah, let's just start. We are super excited to show the work of our last 48 hours and the product we built. We called it Mediport. And we are a team of 5 guys, Gabriel, Michael, Richard, Michael, and me, Maxi. And everyone has his pretty own domain and expertise he contributed to this project. The problem we are facing is pretty much this. When you see a doctor, or in our case, especially a dentist, you get a diagnosis after the appointment, and it's pretty hard to understand because there are many words that you don't know as a normal guy if you don't have a medical background. This is pretty clear because doctors have a limited time for patients to explain things. Patients have limited medical understanding and knowledge, obviously. And due to that fact, there's a missing health awareness in the general public. So what our solution to this problem is, or what we want to do, is really to empower the patient with easily understandable health data. And we would dig right in to our prototype we built the last 2 days. As you can see here, we built like a software dummy of a dental software because we want to operate our software as a plugin into already existing dental softwares. And as you can see, I'm generating a report right now in real time based on the patient's notes the doctor already took during the appointment. So there's not additional work for the doctor to be done to generate a report. Only he has to wait like 20 seconds or something like that. We take a look into it right now. And as you can see here, the report for John was just created. And you can see John's overall score. He can try to improve over time. His hygiene score, his health score. He gets a summary and also a therapy summary, which is completely created by GPT-3 based on the notes the doctor took in difficult language and broken down into simple language. Now you can see here on the right-hand side, you have the different issues highlighted on the different teeth. And you can also chat with GPT-3 about different issues. So for example, let's ask it about dental cavities, what causes dental cavities, and it gives a pretty good answer. Michael now will tell you something about our business model and get a little bit deeper into that.
So guys, our business model, we use software as a service, and our customers are health insurers, which is a pretty big market in Germany. And we want to get into the subsidies they give for their customers. And this is an increasing business. For example, fitness studio membership subsidies are ever increasing from the health insurers. And therefore, we want to get an easy market entry through this narrow set of large cap customers, because the health insurance companies are a big business in Germany. And why should they care, the health insurers, about us? Because they also invest in digital solutions. And for example, the 2 biggest health insurers in Germany already have some sort of digital solution where we can easily plug into and give the patient more knowledge about their own health and raise their health awareness. And now let's talk about our competition. We obviously have the doctor's letter, the internet, which everyone uses, washabich.de, and our product. And our main strengths are that we're easily comprehensible, that we're really scalable, for example, compared to a doctor's letter. And our information density and personalization is also really, really high. And we also ensure that we have a high reliability through training our model. What makes us unique? We have a very low operating cost. It usually takes about 5 cents per report. And it's also fully personalized and high scalable, as I mentioned before. But in the medical topic, it's really important to have a high data protection. And therefore, we ensured anonymous data transfer, our database, and this is really important. Our value proposition is that we reduce consultation time for the doctor, empower the patient through our knowledge, raises the health awareness, and therefore reduce costs for insurance companies in the long term, because better educated patients are more keen to have a better health.
Yes, so we really want to make medicine understandable for everyone, and we are really looking forward to get your critique and your feedback, because this is the only way to make a product better in the future. And yeah, let's get into some questions.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Team Mediport. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into the questions. Jury, go ahead.
Let me start. Look, it's good that you got a team. And you got a mix of people. The fact that the customers are the insurance is interesting, because it means that getting the feedback from a few people should be great. How much responsibilities and how much how can you make sure that people will not take the report and do the wrong things?
Yes, so what we didn't mention in the demo there, because of limited time, there's a step in between where the doctor can check the report, or has to check the report, and then email the link to the report to the customer. And with the GPT-3 chat model, we are very restricted, and we put the focus really on limiting the output, and maybe often there's no output, maybe sometimes too often, but we prefer to give no output than wrong output, right? So we really took care about that, and Richard, who's a medical specialist, this was his key task in the project. Can you hear us?
Yep, perfect. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, perfect.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for the question.
Maybe one question is, how we would make sure that this can be integrated in these kind of bonus programs, right? So because understanding is one thing. Hope we can solve this issue, and then what's next, right? What can I do with this information, me as a patient, and also as a next logical action item?
Mm-hmm. So I think the market is pretty interesting for the insurers, because they spend more and more money to prevent disease, because it's way cheaper for them. So we really want to get into these programs, as you mentioned. And I think in the long run, they save money. So I think this would be our biggest point to convince an insurer to use our product. Because the price we charge is way lower than a patient who is not aware of his health.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What are the first examinations beyond teeth that you'd want to apply this?
So we really wanted to start with the dental space, because it's very limited in inputs. The input data expand into different medical domains that are also limited in input space, let's call it like that, and then get into a broader space in the medical area.
We really want to ensure to train the model in a limited environment to get the best results, and then go broader and more open to more medical topics, and ensure a really reliable service for the patients and the customers.
Yeah.
Can you give a concrete example of what Alexander's asking for? So,
and once again, I'm going to have to draw the line at this place. I apologize. I know the apologies are becoming a bit more redundant since I'm doing them constantly, but
I think they got the concept by now.
It's a dirty job, but somebody has got to do it. So anyways, without any further ado, let's get to the investments from the
Sounds
jury.
good.
And let's start it off with Alexander Schmidt. How much would you love to invest?
Happy to be first. I think like there's actually a closed loop in medicine missing that makes examinations more accessible and actionable. And I think like you did a great job in doing this here. I'm by this. I'd be down to invest 250K.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Very generous. Ekram, how would you like to top that or a bit lower?
No, but I also buying this and believing in this idea, and I do see a huge impact. So I go with 150K.
Wow. Okay.
Oh,
Thank you.
Team Lava's getting a bit of a competition. Dr. Philip Gerbert, what do you think?
So first of all, thank you very much for the presentation. I'm a bit more pessimistic on this. I think it's a feature, not a product. There's a huge market for follow-up on doctor visits. And I would encourage you to think about, how do you incorporate to then have a real doctor up, an app that says, are you brushing your teeth regularly? Are you doing A, B, or C? So this is just the first step. Irrespective, I think it's a great presentation. I am down with 80K. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Sebastian.
yeah, it's a pity that you didn't answer the last question I had, right? I'd like to have seen it. Still, you raised some good points, and I think the focus on dental also makes sense. You gave really good arguments for it. So I do buy it with 300K.
Wow. Okay. Thank you.
Wow. So somebody took the lead here. Anyways, Antoine, take it home.
Yeah, to put 100K, I like the focus. I like the fact that I feel that the demo is convincing. I like the fact that you have a team with multiple people, and I think that this is quite interesting and convincing. I would use it.
Thank you for the feedback.
Yeah, thank you very much for the jury for the investments. Here's a small overview on how it actually now looks like. So we've got Mediport at the lead, took Team Lava, and let's see how it actually goes on from now.
Close race, close race. Next up, we have Team Compliance from Legal Tech. Are you already in the call? Can you hear us?
Yes, we can.
Perfect. There's some excitement
Team
happening.
Mediport is already celebrating, guys. Don't celebrate too early. There's a couple of teams coming up. And definitely do mute yourself before you start celebrating. But excited to see that you're excited.
But we can already see the next team's screen, so that's perfect. So if you're ready to start, go ahead.
The next 6 minutes, we will make you forget all your complaints you have about compliance. So when companies tell you that their compliance systems work well, you can almost be sure that this is not true. We know all from the media news, stories on compliance scandals are the norm and not the exception. So why is this the case? We see an ongoing trend of companies becoming larger and larger and more international over time. So as a result, the legal team, the legal environment in which these companies operate in gets incredibly complex. And therefore, it comes as absolutely no surprise that employees are overwhelmed by all the different regulations they have to keep in mind. And at the same time, companies complain that the training of their employees on these legal issues is the most difficult challenge they currently face.
All right. So let's suppose I am Andy, I work in sales, and I just came from a meeting with a business partner, with a potential business partner, and finally we want to get the partnership down to paper. However, I myself, I'm not sure about the process and what actually to take into account. So usually companies would need to contact their legal team, which takes quite a long time, or the people need to look it up themselves on SharePoint and read through all the documents, and that also takes lots of time. So thank God we have this new cool feature or product which is called Compliance. It is a browser-based browser extension, so I can actually access it from everywhere.
So let's have a look. As I said before, I want to know more about business partners, especially what is actually required to register a global business partner. So let's have a look. Let's ask him that. So in the meantime, in the background, because all the legal compliance documents, they are now being screened, and it searches for the most relevant answer. And in this case, the global business partner, including all listed subsidiaries, must be checked against status. All right, now we have the answer. However, what is status? Because I myself, I'm not a fan of abbreviations. I'm not sure if you are, so let's ask him, what is status? So let's see, that will take a little bit, and then we will get the answer. Status is a database of the Siemens Group. It is used to screen for integrity risk and to identify integrity risk, right? So, and on the bottom, if I want to know more about this topic, I can basically look it up here. So I think this is a really amazing tool for me because it actually understands what I want, right? Especially if you consider we can upload any compliance document and immediately use it within this chatbot. So let's sum it up. We have a very lightning fast solution because we can get access to information in seconds. And that means we lower the barriers to get information on compliance instead of assuming things and possibly doing any harm, right? The second part is it's really easy to understand. I think everybody knows, okay, legal jargons is not the very easiest to understand. So without requiring employees to read pages over pages, our system intelligently summarizes the paragraphs. And lastly, it's highly scalable. Our chatbot is available 24/7. It costs little and can be scaled to any number of employees and locations without any problems.
So for our solution, we used the GPT-3 in a pipeline consisting of 3 stages. The first one is the search, where the employees' questions are matched against all documents to identify the documents with the correct answers. And based on the questions and the correct documents, we use the completion to generate the custom fit answer. And on top of the answer, we provide further suggestions for the employee, where we use the search again to extract all the relevant information. Yeah, but not only for the field of compliance, also beyond, our innovation has great potential. If we have a look at the so-called chatbot market revenue, we expect a tremendous growth within the next 6 years. And also at the bottom, the compound annual growth rate is estimated around 10%. So with our business model, we can perfectly emphasize those needs because our product is customized to the individual company guidelines. And by providing software as a service, the companies can upload all their relevant documents and update them on the go. And we follow a pay-per-use approach, which means that the customer is paying per request, and that's how we can grow with a company. And the great thing about our solution is that it is best suited to manage large internal documents of any kind. And that's why we see a high potential in expanding our product to other fields, for example, general knowledge management. And as we have business, design, and technical skills, we can create a product that brings the right information to the user and one that people actually like to use. So you want to try it out? Then let's connect.
Thank you so much, Leonie.
Yeah, that was like
And
quite
the whole team.
on the spot. Anyways, thank you very much for the amazing presentation. A couple of familiar faces there as well. And without any further ado, let's jump to the questions from the jury.
Thanks. You want to analyze lots of documents by a company, right? So first, a technical question: how do you get access to all those documents? Second one is a compliance question on its own. How do you ensure that that this doesn't become a compliance problem? Think of governance of documents; they could be confidential, right? So.
That is a very interesting question. So I think because we will work with the companies itself, right? So we provide our product as a service for the companies. So this is how we basically cooperate with them and get access to their documents. Because I mean, right? They purchase our product or our service.
Can I follow up on that? I think I understand your model. You work with a company, and so you are a service and on their data. And they, like Siemens, would provide you with their compliance documents. The core question is, how do you actually build sustainable competitive advantage? What can you carry over from one company to the next, right? I mean, you seem to always start afresh. So what's your differentiation?
I would say our differentiation is that we are really customized. So since the model is not trained on the data or documents we give them, it's already pre-trained, we can ensure that it really gives the internal procedures or the information about the internal procedures to the company and doesn't answer like generally.
Exactly. If I may also add on that point, as we said in our presentation, the compliance topic is only a starting point for us. What we really want to achieve is to become like the leading provider for finding information in the company of all different kinds. And I think that by doing that, we'll also have a first mover advantage, which will differentiate from competitors.
Yeah, and here comes my question actually. So I get the point. The knowledge mining, it works like you're training your chatbot with data for customers, for example, for the compliance case. So if the next customer would like to make a sales or marketing, this would still work, right? So your solution is kind of generic in that. So what's the compliance flavor in it? Because if you are generic, then it's no big difference to the existing solutions on the market in the area of knowledge mining and chatbots and so on. So is it specific to compliance or are you more generic?
I think this is, again, a very interesting question. So as Michael said before, our long-term goal is to reach as like the first leading company as in the field of chatbots. However, I think we want to start first in compliance.
And I'm going to have to jump in there and say, sorry. Sorry for interrupting again. The room for discussion is open in the Slack channel, final_pitches. But now we're going to get to the part that I'm excited about. I'm sure you too as well, you and your team. The investments. Dr. Philip Gerbert, why don't we start with you? Dr. Philip?
I can't.
Dr. Philip, you are on mute. Maybe in the meantime, we can take the investment of Dr. Sebastian Lehrig instead.
Okay. So first of all, thank you for your insights. I like your browser plugin, actually. Haven't seen that before used. But I also think that the market on chatbots is too tough at the moment. So I'm, again, not investing here in the chatbot technology. Sorry for that.
Yeah, tough call, but again, life's tough sometimes. Ekram, what do you think?
Yeah, if the guy's going to promise that they're going to build some more intelligence and screen the market to get their differentiating factor, for example, in the compliance, because I do believe it's a very complex topic, then I would invest 20K.
Okay, so fair enough. Alexander, what about you?
I'll also invest 20K.
Okay, straightforward. Antoine?
I'll probably be a little more conservative, go to 15. I think that your business looks like more a service-oriented business, and it's a bit of challenge that you people will work well with a couple of companies, but I'm not convinced that there is an intellectual property which will grow at some stage. So 15K for me. But it's a great presentation.
Okay, perfect. Dr. Philip Gerbert, are you now back? I will take this as No. Anyway, so now we can show the overview of the investments. Dr. Philip, you can definitely post your investments
and
in
put
the
it in the
chat.
chat, yeah.
In the chat or in the Slack channel. We'll definitely take it into account.
He's going for 90K.
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 Very
wow.
good.
I confirm.
Would have been bad if you've missed that much. So once again, here's the overview of how it seems compliance with 145,000 tokens.
And still quite a lot of budget left from all the jury members. So.
And just 2 teams, so still a lot up to grabs. Let's see if one of the 2 teams makes a surprise, or is it just going to stay with Mediport on the front and the guys can keep on celebrating?
We'll find out.
Yeah.
Next up, we have AGI from the knowledge management track. Is any team member here? Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Yes, perfect. Are you ready?
I'm going to share my screen with you.
Sounds good.
1 second. Open share tray. I think my camera might turn off when I start screen sharing.
That's fine.
We'll be back shortly.
All good. We can
you see this well?
Looks very good.
Okay. Then let me do this. And that down here. Okay.
Perfect.
And then I'll do this. No. That.
Yeah, looks good. Go ahead then.
Okay. Hi, we're Codely. We're the Grammarly for code. Now, whether you're a professional developer or an occasional coder, when you're moving fast, you tend to write code that's error-prone, that's untested and poorly documented. And that might work initially, but it's hard to maintain, and it creates a lot of technical debt later on. And as a result, developers spend just 1/3 of their time code and as much time on maintenance and testing of their code base. Codely solves this problem by helping developers write great maintainable code. We're using the world's most powerful language model, GPT-3, to produce concise and idiomatic code automatically, to generate context-aware docstrings, so natural language descriptions of what your code is doing, and to write unit tests. And Codely does this substantially faster than a human coder. We're currently supporting Python, but other languages will follow. And we've shown what Codely can do to friends in our network, and they were super impressed with Codely's abilities, even suggesting that we might be putting ourselves as developers out of work. Coders around the world experience the same inefficiencies when writing code that we've noticed ourselves, and for which we've built Codely. So this is a huge market, and it's a market that grows fast as companies around the world hire more developers. Ultimately, it's our vision. Our vision is a symbiosis of software developers and advanced artificial intelligence, so that humans can focus on doing what they love, which is being creative and solving problems that actually matter. And we're outperforming the competition. We can do this by using GPT-3 and its comprehension of code and natural language. Uniquely, this means that Codely has generative capabilities. It doesn't just flag errors and issues like our competition, but it actually proposes working solutions that you can just adapt into your code. We're live, actually, in private beta at the moment, currently supporting Python, and we'd like to show you a demo of Codely in action. So in this case, we have written a function that reverses a string, and we would like to write a natural language description of what that function does, so-called docstring. And so we submit this to Codely. Codely thinks about this. And then, drum roll, gives us back the docstring that describes what this function does, what the arguments of the function are, and what the function returns. And that's in line with the Google Python style guide. And you can just press accept to move this into your code. Similarly, let's see. Now, 'cause Similarly, we can use Codely to write a unit test for a function. So here we've got a function that computes the average of a list. And we want to write a unit test that makes sure that this function actually does what we expect it to. So we submit it to Codely, Codely processes the function, and then gives us back the unit test that asserts that this function actually does what we think it does. And then finally, we can use Codely to generate concise code. So here, we're using a for loop in Python to create a list that contains the squares of all integers up to 9 and prints that list. And if we submit this to Codely, Codely gives us back that same function, that same code snippet, but using Pythonic, idiomatic, concise code with this comprehension.
Alex, can you select drop down thing and do it again?
Yes. I'm just good catch, Ricardo. Thank you. So we can do that again. We just take that. We accept that. Okay, and let's do that again. So here you can see that it generates the same code snippet, but using list comprehension. We can accept that. So back to our presentation. We're going for a freemium business model that scales with packages that scale with the user's demands. For the next 12 months, we'd like to scale Codely to 10,000 users. We're going to start with 100 users from our extended network at universities where people are learning to code, and at world-class tech companies to get feedback from pros. We're looking for a 500,000 pre-seed investment that will help us, that will make that possible. And how are we going to do this? Well, we have an exceptional team, a team that combines deep domain expertise, experience in shipping natural language AI products, and a commercial track record. We're really excited what comes next. And if you'd like to get in touch with us, email us at hey@codely.cc. And we want to take this opportunity to thank OpenAI and the organizers of the TUM Makeathon for their support. Thanks.
Thank you very much to Team Codely or AGI. We have it in our system as AGI, but we'll just have both names for now.
We'll go with the flow, whatever the flow takes us.
Also, before we start with the questions, maybe you want to stop your screen share and turn on your camera again so we can see you, if you want. And then, yeah, go ahead, Jerry. Ask your questions.
Stop sharing. 1 second. Okay.
Take your time.
Okay, asking the question. I do have two, and they're short. First of all, did you really start this week only with this? And second of all, can you go into more detail on how you want to distribute it also in a commercial sense and not only to students?
Sure. We've started working on this. We wrote the first lines of code on Friday around 3 p.m. And we'd like to, how to commercialize this? We'd like to basically go to 100 users from our network at universities and tech companies, and then spread by way of mouth from there.
Okay, thank you. Let's have one question next from me. So I found those examples you were given kind of convincing, but they were kind of trivial examples, right? So these are kind of standard functions you find in libraries. Should be pretty easy to generate stuff for that. What about more complex functions? Have you tested that?
Absolutely. So we've experimented with more complex functions, and it does work in many cases. It's just a question of optimizing the way we prompt GPT-3 and how, and probably we need to add routines that basically check the output that GPT-3 proposes. But this was just a prototype. We just wanted to show you what functionality we're working towards. But we're pretty sure that we have like really amazing capabilities that we want to roll out.
Yeah, I'm still not totally convinced how you will commercialize this one, right? So there, expert systems that have been in the game for ages now, and from time to time in IDEs like IntelliJ or Eclipse, you get additional help, right? So how do you attract people more than that?
Yeah, so we don't want to replace IDEs initially. We'd like to develop a plugin that integrates with your favorite IDE, or something like a GitHub app, so that you made on GitHub and then process your code base.
I have a question. I mean, because another part of coding time-consuming is testing and documenting. And I think this would really greatly differentiate yourself to an existing solution. Did you consider this at all?
Yes, I think that's really valuable feedback. That's certainly something we've considered. We actually started initially thinking about writing comments for code, for legacy code, so line-by-line comments. We ultimately went for the features that we've shown you now first, because determining when you should comment code is non-trivial. You don't want comments everywhere. You sort of want it for the complex bits of code, and so we've basically gone for the features first that we thought are viable. But that's definitely something we'd like to look at.
And I come again with the buzzkill.
But this time it's actually good timing.
Wasn't that bad. That makes me feel a bit better. Anyways, so let's get to the exciting part again. From the jury, the investments, Dr. Philip Gerbert, we haven't heard from you in a while. How about you go first? Dr. Philip?
Yes, perfect.
Oh, sorry. So I had computer problems that I didn't off again. So thank you very much. Look, I liked it very much. I was quite impressed by what you could actually also got to do, during all this time. So I would like to invest 120K.
Okay, very generous. Thank you very much. Akram, how much would you like to invest?
Yeah, I mean, the next 5 years, 500 million new apps going to be developed around the world. I love the developer community. Every company needs to be a software company, so there will be trillions of codes written. So great business case. That's my favorite for today so far. 200K from me.
Very good. Very nice to see your excitement. Antoine, what do you think? Antoine? Maybe you're on mute.
Okay.
Sorry, happens to me all the time in all the meetings, and I'm sure not allowed. I'll go to 50K. I think it's a good start. I think there's basically, just to cut it short, it's a good start, and it's a big market.
Okay, fair enough. Alexander, what do you think?
Great presentation. I think it's one of the most natural use cases that comes out, and it's also where we saw most of the products already. Still, I think it is something that is super investable, and you guys made a tremendous effort to build a strong pitch around it, so I'd be investing 200K.
Okay, quite generous. And last but definitely not least, Dr. Sebastian Lehrig, how much would you like to invest?
Okay, so I'm pretty much with Akram. If I invest here, I'd like to shift the focus really much more on testing, because there's a big pain point. Documenting my code, maybe I don't even want to have it there, the documentation. But testing is a big pain point. So I'm gonna invest with 150K.
That's gonna be a close call for the guys at Miniport. Let's go to the overview to see how teams rank up against themselves. Miniport is still up front, but now Team Lava is down to 3rd place and Kohli 2nd place. Still a very good achievement. You guys should be proud of yourself. Great presentation. And yeah, so
up to our last team presenting today, which is Team Ominidi from the marketing track. Is there any team member in the call? Perfect. Hi.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you. If you're ready, you can start sharing your screen already. Perfect, we can see it. So yeah, go ahead if you're ready.
Okay, great, thank you. Hi, we are Team Ominidi, and we are building a solution for Siemens Challenge, where we need to extract very specific information from customer emails. While we were building the solution, we realized that there is a potential market for smart email orchestration system. of the most important methods of communication with customers. Surprisingly, based on Adobe research, chatbots are the least preferred methods of communication. Another important thing is that emails are often irrelevant, and it's a big pain for employees. Imagine a very extreme case where Android developers receive emails about enterprise sales and designers get reports about shipped products. We are building smart email orchestration system that does two things. First, it classifies emails into predefined custom topics using a feature learning provided by GPT-3. Second, we redirect emails to the relevant people based on those topics and escalate when necessary. Imagine a junior employee receiving an urgent email from an important customer, and he or she forgot to respond. That email might be redirected to the manager of the department to avoid an awkward situation. The market of customer service is $350 billion, and only CRM market is expected to double by 2025. Our business model is based on monthly subscription, considering that there are around 120,000 of large businesses in the world. By adopting pricing structure from software incident orchestration tools, yearly revenue of around $140 million is achievable just by capturing 5% of potential market. And the landscape of competitors is versatile. There are bots, CRM platforms, email parsers, and of course, incident management tools. But none of them provide custom classification and email orchestration. Coming back to the Siemens challenge, we need to extract very specific information from customer emails and return back to Siemens in JSON format. We built a solution using GPT-3. The important thing here is that just by playing with GPT-3 for a few hours without any prior experience with GPT-3, we could achieve accuracy of 75% measured by Siemens, and we received very positive feedback from them. That we didn't just randomly dump data into GPT-3, we adopted data-driven approach where we understood the main statistics and created ensemble models based on the confidence levels. Right now, we're exploring the potential of GPT-3 and testing the solution. But the next step would be to build orchestration module. And we also heard rumors that we might go to Mars soon, and we are very excited. This is our team, and Arnar is going to present our demo. So please redirect focus to Arnar.
So sorry, you're done? We're in a Q&A now?
Hello?
No,
sorry,
there
was a technical person. Yeah, so, now we are going to present our demo.
Yes, many thanks for this, Dias. I will share my screen with you. Can you see my?
Now we can.
Great. Okay. So this is here we have an email from a Siemens client, which I want to send to our mailbox, and we use GPT-3 to. I'll send it now. We use GPT-3 to extract valuable data out of the email for each product order. You can see here product order number. So, for example, to tell whether an order is open or closed, we use text classification. And to extract tasks, we use both classification and semantic search. So, if the semantic search yields low confidence level, we try the classification. If classification gives no results at all, we stick to the semantic search results. And then we can take this information and send it onward to Siemens backend. And as Dias pointed out, our approach reached with little effort 75% accuracy on Siemens tests. So finally, we can summarize our response to the client. So here we have 2 orders. Yeah, thank you for your attention.
Short and to the point. I like it. Thank you guys for the presentation. Let's get to the Q&A.
I know a bit these domains.
that we are adopting is giving access to the shared inbox, giving access to our system, and then our system scans new emails that come to the email box, and then it processes them.
Well, you should be routing an email based on the analysis you do of the email.
Sorry, say it again.
Does your analysis allow you to identify from a shared inbox whom the mail should be forwarded?
Yeah, so here we are thinking of adoption of strategy of incident management in DevOps practices. So basically in DevOps practices, there are tools that orchestrate incidents. So for example, if incident happens in your code base, then that incident might be sent to a responsible person based on predefined rules. So here, for example, very basic example, we are trying to identify if a request is open and closed, right? One of the tasks. If a request is open, it goes to me. If request is closed, then it goes to Arnor, and it might be predefined before.
Mm-hmm. Clear.
Does this or would this because we heard a lot about chatbots and the market potential, and we do see a lot of big shift from emails to chats, basically collaboration. So would this basically also work with Slack or Teams or any other chat collaboration instead of email?
So right now we are focusing just on emails, but of course, if the solution is tested on more customers, it can be expanded to other tools, because email is just a tool of communication, and there are lots of other tools for communication.
Yes, sorry, I was muted. Yeah, I would say that our semantic analysis of the email does not require the thing to be an email, so we can analyze everything. We can do unstructured data to structured data for Slack and so on.
Nice. Cool.
Thank you.
If there aren't any further questions, then let's get into the investment.
Yeah. So, Alexander, how about we start with you?
Yeah, I think like email communication is a massive challenge. I'd love to see the product more diversified. Therefore, I'd invest 50K.
Okay, thank you very much. Ekram, what about you? What do you think?
Yeah, again, if the guy's going to promise me that the technology also would work later on in chats and collaboration as well, I would go for 100K.
Okay, very generous. Dr. Philip Gerbert, what's your take?
I liked it very much. I also think, it's the first team that really did a test with the customers and have significant technical sophistication. So I would go for 250K.
Okay, thank you very much. Dr. Sebastian Lehrig, what do you think?
I'm in with
Okay,
20K.
good, fair enough.
Okay.
Antoine, last but definitely not least, tell us what you think.
Well, I'm coming from this business, so it speaks to me a lot. So I'm going to go to 150, and I think this is a huge market where where a lot could be done, and I like some of the things that you guys are doing. And I got to be careful because I'm very biased because I really know this market.
It's fair enough. So that was it with the 8 teams. Here is the, I would say, half final standings. We've got Mediport at the beginning. The guys are definitely still celebrating there in the little room.
Very excited, them too.
Exactly. Now we've got a short break, 5 minutes, but don't go anywhere. If you think the competition is over, you're quite mistaken.
It's definitely not.
There's still 6 million tokens up to grabs, where the jury is going to go into a discussion and they are going to decide together on where these 6 million tokens go and which idea.
Yep.
So you might think you've won, but maybe there's a little surprise at the end of the road. And while they are discussing, there's a small presentation from us, from our side. We're going to tell you about the winners of the side quests.
Also very exciting, so don't miss out on that one either.
So definitely stay on the edge of your chairs. It's far from over. And we'll have also a couple of polls from the Mentimeter, and we'll see you after the break.
See you in a sec.
Hello and welcome back to the second half of the grand finale of the TUM.ai GPT-3 Makeathon. We're coming closer and closer to the final destination. It's a bit bittersweet. I miss you guys. I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow, to be honest. But anyway,
it's gonna be chill.
We've already seen the 8 final pitches. The jury has already given their initial investments. So we've already have kind of a non-final ranking. But right now, the jury is in a discussion round, discussing together where the 6 million tokens are now going to go. So while they're doing that, we've got some couple of things here that like some loose ends.
Also very important things.
Exactly. But
and some other things you can win.
Exactly. The meme challenge, the Easter eggs, the pub quiz. So stay tuned. But before we go into that, which team did you like the most?
I think all Final 8 teams were pretty great, I think.
But who do you think will win, Nora?
Who do I think will win?
It's about winning.
It's a tough question to ask me here live, Omar. Do you know if I want to answer that?
I don't know. Like, I think the one from Mediport was nice. I mean, they did have like the most investments, like the initial investments at least.
Yes.
But then when you kind of look at the other things, I mean, all the pitches were very good from the 8 finalists.
Yeah, they were all really good. And everything's still up to grabs. Like 6 million is still quite a lot.
So I don't know, I'm going to bet on Team Lava just because I'm a bit biased there, if I'm completely honest. You like the challenge that was posted by Bayerischen Rundfunk. So I'm going to go because it's kind of boring to kind of bet on Mediport. They're already like very far ahead.
Go for the teams at the end.
Yeah, I mean,
support the ones.
Exactly. Just I love the underdogs, guys. Guilty as charged. I like the guys who don't look like they're gonna win. I'm gonna bet on them. You have my vote. But before knowing my vote, what about you guys? Let us know in the little poll here. The QR code should pop up, and if you needed the link, then it's in the general Slack channel as well.
Be interesting to see whether they have the same opinion as the jury or a completely different one, because
that would actually be a very interesting question, because the people are not necessarily the same opinion as the experts.
Yes, definitely.
So it would be interesting to see if, like, the the general public kind of thinks something else as opposed to the experts. So
we shall find out in a second.
Yeah.
I think we still need to see the screen. In a second.
The results should come up any minute now. My heart is racing like a horse.
It's so exciting.
Definitely is.
There we go.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, your faith as well.
Hey, that's actually like, of course, I don't have the thing in my memory, but I think this was exactly the same ranking as the one achieved by the jury.
I'm not sure, to be honest.
Like I think Easy Read was not in the top 2.
Either way, it's a very clear win by Mediport in this case, which is interesting, because in the other one there was top 3 were very similar.
Definitely.
But in this case,
wow, that's going to be a close one. I definitely don't. Oh,
Team Lava is catching up.
Hey, what's going on?
Popping around.
Boy, I definitely do not want to be one of the jury guys right now. I can't imagine the intensity going on now in the discussion room.
Yeah, and they all have different opinions as well.
Yeah, so
it's easier to decide for yourself what you want to invest, but
to convince 5 other guys, that's definitely a challenge. I mean, they're all experts in their own in their own fields, so they definitely know how things work. So it would be nice to see where this 6 million goes. But this is like a very nice indication of where things should go, at least if left to the general public. And yeah, let's see how it all ties up in the end. Definitely gonna be exciting.
We will do.
So anyways, let's come. So as we said again, bit bittersweet. We're coming close to the end of the GPT-3 Makeathon by TUM.ai.
It's been great.
It's breaking my heart. But as said, like once again, this was a huge team effort. We could have not done this on our own. A couple of months ago, this was just an idea pitched by 3 guys on a lunch break. And now we've got a huge team, and our main partners and all the other partners, they have been immensely supportive, immensely flexible. Our main partners, OpenAI, TUM Venture Labs, and Applied AI, they've been there from the very, very first second, supporting this idea ever since it was just a small seed. Just look at it now. Quite nice.
It's pretty exciting.
Our challenge setters, they've worked a lot to bring the prizes, to bring the challenges, to keep you entertained by coding, by making. Our sponsors, because again, guys, I can't stress this enough. This was expensive. Just the pizza we ordered.
And especially Backverlag really helped us out here, so
the virtual setting, Gathertown, was sponsored by our sponsor Gather, same name. And our supporters, they've brought to you these amazing talks and workshops. So big thank you, a big applause, but the biggest applause should definitely go to the organizing team behind this. Without them, this would have not been possible. There's a lot of guys behind the scenes here.
You've mostly been seeing us, but I guess in GatherTown and Slack, you've already seen
a lot of other
a lot of the other faces that also been working very, very hard in this thing. So we really want to give them the honor and show all of the faces
behind the camera.
have been working with us. We have 3 teams. First, we have the track team where we have Basti, Jakob, Nico, Omar, Adam, and Omar. So thank you so much to them, and thank you so much to Omar as well, of course. Next up, we have the education team where we have Nico, Fabi, Martin, Luca, Leonie, Kerstin, Anna, and Philip.
Definitely, guys, they have brought all the educational materials to you, and they organized the workshops and talks that were definitely very interesting, but also very beneficial. I've watched them all. I had to, but even if I didn't have to,
I still would have watched them.
I definitely would have watched them.
A lot there for everybody.
Yeah.
Last but not least, we have the execution team where
That's
Paddy.
a big one.
A bit of a bigger one, so 2 slides for this one. We have Paddy, we have Toby, Pia, Leonard, Steffi, Marcus, Young, David, Sebastian, Lucas, Marco, myself, and Adrian.
Yours truly was also quite great fun to be next to me all this time.
Very glad to get to know all these people. So thank you again to everybody involved and not just us. And it was really fun working with all of you.
Yeah, I really don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow. Like,
It's going to be so sad.
I'm going to have dinner, like, yeah.
By yourself. No stress.
Yeah, exactly.
No work on things. So,
I have
yeah.
a free evening.
Crazy. Okay, but I mean, we enjoyed it a lot, as you can tell, but there's a poll as well on what did you enjoy a lot about this weekend and the Makeathon in general. So make sure to head there now, and there should be a QR code below the stream right now where you can scan and answer this question. But yeah, Omar, what was your favorite part?
Well, it's definitely now hard because now, like,
so many things have happened.
So many things have happened.
Great
it's been
things
a long
have
week.
happened,
It's been a long couple of weeks, but I mean, I definitely did enjoy the pitches because this was what it's all about.
Yeah,
like, just like seeing
everything come together,
seeing the ideas of the people, seeing what actually people came up with. But I gotta say, the Flutter workshop.
You were just so excited while you're watching it, sitting here. You should have seen it. It was very cute.
Yeah, like I gotta say, it just like hit me hard. But the rest of the workshops, they were also amazing, and I definitely did enjoy the opening stream as well.
Yeah, that's true.
I was definitely quite nervous at the beginning, just like waiting for everything to come together. You never know, sitting on this seat for the very first time. It wasn't that comfortable, to be honest. It still isn't, but it's the way it is. So
it goes.
I don't know. I think every single step did have its own like own taste, its own flair.
Very true.
But I'm gonna stay with the Flutter workshop. Who am I kidding?
I think the Flutter workshop isn't one of the participants. Omar socks. To be fair, you've been wearing very colorful, nice socks every day.
Yeah,
do you love it? And you said you aren't fashionable. That's a fashion right there.
Yeah, I mean, I've been wearing the same sweatshirt for the whole Makeathon, so being fashionable is a bit of an overstatement, but I do put extra care into my socks, guys. Thank you very much for noticing. It definitely made my day. I needed that today.
That memes is also up there. Very cool.
Yeah.
Flutter's there as well now. There you go.
Nice. Mediport, the memes. Yeah, definitely a good one as well. Gather. Definitely I was surprised about how well it worked in Gather.
Yeah, I was also very glad that it worked out as well as we
they did sponsor us with like a huge package. It does not come cheap, I tell you that, but they have been very generous and provided us with the access. And it definitely did capture a bit of the offline feeling.
Yeah, I very much agree with that. It was really nice chatting with people after the events as well.
Walking up to people, stalking them, annoying them.
That's true.
I can remember one of like the team members of our guys, names not disclosed, they definitely did enjoy coming up to the team members and annoying them just by walking next to them where they're discussing, just saying, hey, and then running away.
Or accidentally not clicking unfollow and you just keep seeing these people for ages. I love it.
I mean, the people.
But now that I see all the Easter egg things and pop quiz, maybe we can get to the announcements of who actually won those things.
And that was an exciting part.
Yeah, because we did have the pop quiz, the Easter egg hunt, and the meme challenge. And there's some winners there as well. First up, the pub quiz, which we actually joined as well. We embarrassingly didn't make it in the top 3.
We did enter with the own Orga squad there. That was the name of the team. I don't think we've even made it in the top 3.
No, I don't think we did. I think we made 4th place, but
which is actually embarrassing because like many of us actually did like design the questions with the guys. We didn't know all the questions, obviously, but it still definitely says something, but we're just gonna skip over. It's only awkward if you let it be.
And also here, I think there were 2 teams very close
very
up
quite
in
close.
the
It was a
top
close
2. I don't
call.
remember which ones there were, but let's see who actually won the pub quiz in the end.
The winner is what counts.
Do-do-do-do.
And it's Taste the Data. Woo! Congratulations, guys! You've got 30 Amazon voucher per
30 euro per team member. So
Spend
that's
them
pretty
well.
exciting.
Spend them well.
Lots of things you can get for 30 euros in
Exactly.
Amazon.
Now, next up, the Easter egg challenge. The guys, they had to be alert, they had to be on the search, and they had to be on the hunt to find
There were
these
some people particularly excited about this, which was pretty funny.
I can imagine. So, without any further ado, let's get to see who got to win again 30 euros Amazon voucher per team member. The winner is Team Myriad. Yeah, definitely.
That was a very close call as well between Myriad and Team Jalapeno, I think. So
yeah, I mean,
close miss, but next time.
It's who wins it counts.
That's how life goes.
That's the way it is. But anyways, congrats, guys. Again, spend them wisely. Don't spend them on socks. That's what I've probably would have done. But if you enjoy my socks, definitely go for it. I can send you the link to the ones I buy.
I'll post it in the general channel, don't worry.
I'll definitely share like my insights. I'll do a workshop, Socks by Omar. How can you share your socks for your outfit?
I'd be down for that.
Definitely will do that.
Very exciting.
So now let's get to the meme challenge, and that's
Omar's final favorite part. So
if you want to know, there's a bit of an insider joke here. First of all, a meme that was made about yours truly definitely wasn't the big 3, and the team here has gone to a great extent to kind of keep me on the dark whether it won or not. So I'm actually here just as a participant as you guys. I actually don't know who won and who didn't. I just know it can be a bit weird if I ended up winning. But anyways, let's see the third place.
Third place is by Fabian Leinen. It's the excitement about the meme challenge, very well represented in a picture. I think a lot of people spend a bit too much time on the meme challenge.
Yeah, I mean, I can't.
It's good that way.
Maybe we should reconsider this in the future. Should we do
Yeah, that's what you already said, right? Next time we'll just do a meme challenge rather than
whole Makeathon by TUM.ai. The guys just go for two days and just do the same thing, but just with creating as much memes as they can. We count the quality, the quantity.
All the prizes up for the meme challenge.
A jury as well from the best influencers all around. That would be
sounds pretty good.
Interesting. Yeah, I wouldn't say good, but definitely interesting. Anyway, second place.
Second place is.
It's looking bad for me, guys.
By Sebastian
Morishat from Voiceline. Definitely speaks for a lot of things. Quite fun. I did enjoy that one as well, to be honest. I think I voted for that as well.
Yeah, a lot of people did.
So great job, guys. We'll definitely send him a gift.
We'll do.
And we'll see how it goes. And now I guess we all know what's going to happen now.
Very unexpected. We have by Giuliano Arendt. Do you know him?
Who do you earn? No, that was...
He just knew you too well.
To be honest, the guy understands me more than I understand myself. He read my mind at that point. So... yeah, again, I've already talked about this. I do have a bit of mixed feelings about this meme. I'm not saying it's not true. It is. I do feel flattered. I do take it as a compliment. But I'm a bit shy. Even that doesn't show.
And I mean, Julio is going to win 100 euros for this. So that's pretty good.
By the way, buddy,
Go ahead.
If you want to share this, I did play a big role in that.
He might be a new best friend, Omar. Go ahead, Omar.
Yeah, I mean, as said, he doesn't know me more than I know myself.
Exactly.
So, yeah. Well, that was it for the side quests.
We'll be back in 3 minutes for the final award ceremony. So stay tuned. I'm sure you're all excited for this one, and see you in a sec.
See you later.
Hello, and welcome to the part we've all been waiting for, the award ceremony of the TUM.ai Makeathon.
Yeah, it's definitely been a work in progress for a long time. It's the moment we've all been waiting for. Everything coming together, all the hours of hard work, all the hours of watching the workshops, the business talks, technical talks, the inspiring talks. And now we got to see
We're excited to see what the jury came up with.
Yeah,
where the last investments went. So without further ado, let's get to the 8th place. With 235,000 TUM.ai coins, we have Team Myriad. Congratulations.
Still very
And
strong.
you won the Easter egg challenge, so don't worry.
Yeah, me, I think the Easter challenge is
way more important.
more important. Anyways, and in 7th place.
That way, the win that you get, very exciting. 30-year Amazon voucher for each member. So look forward to that.
I just almost jumped the gun at that one point. Anyway, so now in 7th place, we've got, with 245,000 TUM.ai coins, Team Compliance.
Congratulations.
So, congratulations, guys. Now let's see what you have got. You've got also a 30-euro Amazon voucher for each team member. Spend them wisely. They're not that little.
Exactly. Next up, we have the 6th place with 250,000 TUM.ai coins. And here we have, we have Team Formalix. Congratulations on 6th place. Very good out of 45 teams.
Definitely a
very impressive.
Achievement.
You win 30-year Amazon voucher as well as the BR Plus goodie hashbag for each team member. It's going to be a surprise what's in there, so stay tuned for that and look forward to it.
Maybe let us know in the Slack channel what's actually in there. We're all pretty excited to see that.
We don't even know.
Yeah,
We'll find out.
And now in 5th place with 707,000 TUM.ai coins, we've got...
Very impressive. Big jump here.
Team Easy Read.
Congratulations.
Nice comeback, guys. Nice comeback. Let's see what you guys got now to celebrate. You also got 30-euro Amazon voucher for each member. You've got the Bayerischen Rundfunk Puls goodie hashbag for each member. And you've got
the most important thing,
aluminium drinking bottle with an insulating function also for each member, so you don't have to share the same bottle.
Not very good during Corona.
Yeah.
In 3rd place, we have actually 2 people. So first, 3rd place we have with 1,100,000 TUM.ai coins, Team Ominidi. Congratulations on that one. You win a Siemens wireless power bank for each member and a Siemens laptop bag for a 15.6-inch size for each team member.
Definitely a lot of Siemens brand here. And now let's see again, 3rd place.
Yeah, the 3rd place.
Being shared is for also again 1,100,000 TUM.ai coins. Team Lava, congrats guys, a lot of familiar faces there. My congratulations to you guys. Let's see what you guys have won. We've also got a Siemens wireless power bank for each member and Siemens laptop bag, a 15.6-inch for each team member. Same as the guys you shared the prize with, obviously, but still very much.
For the top 2 people, most exciting one.
Yeah, now I'm getting a bit nervous. In
2nd place with 2,480,000 TUM.ai coins, we have Team Codely AGI. Congratulations. What an achievement.
Yeah, definitely. It's from 45 teams, being 2nd. You should guys be proud.
And it's been very competitive, so very good. You win an Amazon Echo Dot for each team member and 1 million tokens for the most powerful GPT-3 model DaVinci. This way you can get your idea more started and keep working on it so it doesn't get lost anywhere.
Exactly, and now I guess
Omar, we have.
That's the final moment. My heart is racing like a stallion on a horsing track.
I mean, you can probably already guess because there's only one team left, but still.
The guys celebrated early. The guys celebrated a bit earlier.
Appropriately, though.
They celebrated wisely. With 3,380,000 TUM.ai coins, the team that won the TUM.ai GPT-3 Makeathon is Team Mediport. Guys, I can't see you in the video call, but I can see you dancing, and I'm telling you,
you already
congratulations.
Before, so.
You have deserved it. Let's see what you guys got to celebrate. You've got 100 euros for each team member. That's definitely a lot of 30. And you've got 2 million tokens for the most powerful GPT-3 model, DaVinci.
That's very exciting. We're really glad to see like what else you can do with this idea and everything.
With that, you can have the chance to prototype your product even more. You've got
elevate it.
Or you
to
get
the
a
next
chance to
level.
like play with it around just a bit, like I don't know, generate a couple of memes with GPT-3 if you can.
Definitely the right way to go with such a great idea.
I would recommend it, but hey, you can do it. You've got the 2 million tokens. Just do with them whatever you want to do. So
that's the right attitude here.
For every single team that did not win, do not think that you have got out of it with nothing. You will still get a certificate of completion for all the things you have made. Also, don't forget about the mentorship program that we're offering here at TUM.ai. That's the way to do it. And to be honest, you guys had fun. Like, I think
it's been so exciting.
Had a bit of fun. And yes, definitely winning the TUM.ai GPT-3 Makeathon is nice, But I think it's also about the purpose of learning something together, of sharing a certain purpose, of making things together, bringing people from the different domains. So I'm pretty sure nobody here is a loser, even though it sounds a bit cheesy.
Not.
Everybody here is a winner, and I definitely.
And it's very exciting to have everybody. And thank you so much for listening to us as well.
Yeah, I definitely consider myself a winner to be sitting here. And yeah, so I guess this is it.
Yeah, I think a few words about the mentorship program.
Yeah, definitely. And the mentorship program from the TUM.ai initiative. Nico Remmerscheid, he definitely did a presentation about this earlier today. And if you want to be part of this initiative that started just 1 year ago, and a lot have happened in 1 year, you can definitely take part in that and keep learning so that the learning is not constrained to the couple of weeks we've had in the Makeathon. We've made a lot of work to condensing a lot of stuff in this 2 weeks, and we'll make sure to keep the ongoing with the workshops we've made, with the tutorials we've made, so that you guys can keep learning and kind of build the AI scene in Munich.
And the mentorship program, you'll have the chance to get more information in a few days, I think, where then the teams that are selected will be able to continue their progress with Venture Labs. So that will be very exciting as well.
So it's definitely not the end here, even though it is, so to say.
And maybe we'll see you soon in another talk or another program.
Yeah,
so I mean, looking forward to that.
It's been a long road, but it was a pleasure and a privilege to share that last mile with you guys. A big thank you to the partners. We've said that. A big thank you to the organizing team behind this, but most
so many people
importantly, a big thank you to the participants.
All the participants for making this all possible. I mean, what is an event without the participants, right?
It doesn't make any sense. And so this would have not been the same without you guys. That should have been nothing without you guys. So thank you for being there. Thank you for watching. Thank you for making. Thank you for coming together. And from my side, just one last time, stay excited.
Stay motivated.
Stay psyched.
Stay curious.
And
guys,
all
of that.
We'll see you soon.
We'll see you around. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.